There's this song that we used to sing when we were younger. Man, we sing you talk about. Man, I know this song. Man, man, you have to know that song. Everybody know that song. Man, it's song like this. Which side are you leaning on? I'm leaning on the Lord's side. Man, hey. Which side are you praying on? I'm praying on the. Hey. Hey everybody, welcome back to Next Gen for Christ. I know it's Independence Day, so happy Independence Day, each and every one of you here in St. Vincent and even who's overseas traveling. Today, I just want to ask us one question. Who or what are we leaning on? In Psalm 62, verse 6 to 8, it says, He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. In God is my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in God. Trust in Him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before Him. God is a refuge for us. Selah. It is easy for us to say that we should pray, or when something comes up, pray. But is that the first thing that comes to mind? When we encounter situations or trying times, is prayer your first priority? Or is prayer the first thing that pops up in your spirit? When we come under attacks, or somebody said something bad about us, is the first thing that comes to your mind prayer? Or is it to message somebody? Or is it a friend who will help us? Or that friend who know that is there when things get hard? Yes, God will use persons as vessels for us to carry us through seasons in our lives. But if he himself is not that person who we run to, that person who is there for us every step of the way, that person we can relate to in every season of our lives, then we got to check ourselves. And I'm saying we because sometimes even I do it at times. Something may come up, and because I know I have somebody who is there who can help me in that situation, that person may be the first body who I'm quick to call or to message. But if I don't stop, or if we don't stop and realize that maybe I'm doing that because I'm dependent on them more than I'm dependent on God. Maybe because through prayer, we see it's like there is a space where God will test us to see are we actually waiting on Him, or we want to do this in our own self and in our own strength. Because trust me, there are going to be times in our lives where we ask or we pray for something, but the time between we pray for it and we actually want it, or we think that we need it for that time, is like 3 days, 2 weeks, or even 5 minutes, because He know that we can do without it for that time. He will actually wait and He will prolong it until He see that we are actually waiting on Him, because He says everything goes according to His time. His timing is perfect. So because He see that, oh, we don't need something now, but we are praying for it, or we don't need that car or that house or that friendship, but we are praying for it. Or even, I'm trying a reference, for those single persons out there, you are praying for a relationship, or you're praying for confirmation for a marriage, but because God is saying, wait on me, you don't need this now, in the right time it will happen. That season is the season where He's testing you to see how long are you willing to wait. Are you actually leaning on me to give you this, or are you leaning on your own understanding, or are you leaning on your own strength? Because trust me, when you decide to take matters into your own hand and you decide to say, come on God, you waiting too long, whether it's my way or no way, it is not going to last. Take my advice now. If you don't want to take mine, you can do one, pray about it, or to learn the hard way. But it's easier said, it is easier to pray about it, or take my advice now and wait and pray about it. Same advice. But that season that we pray for something that is not given to us at that time is just a season of testing. He's going to test us to see are we actually patient enough to wait on him. And trust me, it's in that season where you see that everything is just like, man, God, if you ain't come now, if me get this in no, that is it. I get happen again. But the truth is, his timing is perfect. So it is only by leaning on him that we can actually get the things in the right season and the right times that we need. And this all goes back to trust. Because if we don't trust him, we're not going to lean on him. He said, lean not unto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. So if we refuse to lean upon him, being he is the rock of our strength. He is the chief cornerstone. The same cornerstone that the builder refused. He's there holding the foundation together. So if we don't lean up on his solid foundation, who is Jesus Christ, then who are we leaning on? What is that thing that comes to your mind when you encounter situations when we are squeezed and pressed in our testing seasons? And trust me, every season is gonna be a testing season, because when we pass through a season in our lives, as we grow, the tests and the battles increase, and it's only what we learned from the season before is going to be used now. That is why we should never despise our processing. So what is that thing that comes to your mind when we enter something or when something comes up? Because trust me, if you're leaning upon friends, that's what's going to come to mind. If you're leaning upon God, the first thing that comes to mind, prayer, fasting, reading, seek his word, separate yourselves to be more with him. So I'm encouraging you, don't let anything or anyone distract you or become your main focus or become what you lean on in this season. Because I'm telling you, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, what you're leaning on is going to be what you're going to depend on. So it won't be much easier to depend on Jesus Christ. Depend on the same one who died on the cross for you, the same one who defeated death, the hell, and the grave for you, so that you can now step into him and become one with him. Yes, the battles may come, but it's for us to rise. If we refuse to rise, then God is going to replace you, or even me if I fail to rise, with somebody else to do what I was called to do and what you was called to do. So in this season, let's lean upon him and depend solely upon him, because nothing else and nobody else can carry us through this journey we call life more than him.